I recently took a large number of the Andamuca Matrix Opal cabochons that I've made in the past out of storage. I had them stored in individual envelopes, plastic sleeves, but I couldn't get a real sense of my inventory, so to speak, and I didn't realize prior to that a lot of these opals that had been, they're all treated with sugar and then with sulfuric acid. I didn't realize that a lot of them had a lot of acid left, so I decided to take them all out and soak them for a long period of time. I soaked them for about 2 weeks now, and I've got some of them here, and I think there's something to be learned about matrix opal from these things. First of all, they're obviously beautiful. That's never an issue with it. But one of the things I wanted to point out is the differences in how they turn out based on how well they treat. What I mean by how well a matrix opal treats is how black it gets. It may be beautiful and not treat well, and still looks beautiful even though the background isn't black. The goal, of course, is to get the background as black as possible, but that often and perhaps usually does not happen. So I'll take a look at a couple of these ones with a dark background. It's impossible to know what kind of how well something's going to treat, and usually, with some exceptions, it's going to be difficult to tell how bright the color will be before you treat it. So the background's dark, it treated well, it's almost black, particularly in this one. And it also happens to have a lot of color. The background's gray, yet they're still outstanding stones and quite beautiful. So you don't have to get a black background to get a really, really nice treatment. This particular one is from a parcel of matrix that I had, and I must have made 50 large cabochons out of it. The problem is I cut them at an angle, and often, here's another one. You can see that I missed the plane of section for the color bar, and that was a problem throughout this batch. Here's another one. I missed the plane of section in a lot of these because I was inexperienced, and it's hard to follow a color bar with a saw. But this particular parcel was pretty nice. It's not the highest grade opal, but these have been treated many times, so they're very dark gray. Here's something from the same parcel. It hasn't been treated as many times. It's got this broad flash pattern that's really beautiful. Here's some lighter opal, and that's got very nice color. Sometimes you get very, very interesting patterns in matrix that because the background is flawed. Here you can see that the treatment, these streaks of black are where it treated well, and the lighter ones are where it didn't treat so well. But it's a very attractive stone, and in fact I would say some might argue that this is more attractive than just an ordinary stone. This one is almost pure color, so you can see that it still didn't really, the background didn't get all that black, and we still got a very, very nice small stone out of it. I think this particular one here is sort of the poster child for what I consider to be a very attractive stone, but treated irregularly. Some parts treated well, those dark black streaks, and others, the grayish streaks, didn't treat so well. But this is a really large cabochon, and I find this very attractive. This is something, opal, that treated extremely well. It's a little bit hard to see, but and blue is considered one of the least valuable colors in opal in general because it doesn't pop out as well. I mean, I could have shown it to you like this, and you'd say, well, that's not an opal at all. But it actually is a nice opal, and it treated extremely well. The background is black. Here's another one that I like quite a bit. It's sort of got a greenish and bluish on one side, and the other side is dark. But and this one treated well. So there's one that's almost black. It treated very well. And here's probably a nicer opal, but it treated moderately. And somewhere in here, I have one that hardly treated at all. But it's outstanding matrix opal, though. You have to admit, it didn't take hardly any of the treatment. But it's a really outstanding stone. And now that I've got all of the acid out of these, I can go forward and when I'm trying to locate a particular stone, they'll all be in one pile, and this is sort of the merging of the opal colony. All members. Got diversity and beauty, and just goes to show that matrix opal is fun. It's relatively inexpensive to buy. You never know what you'll get. You might get outstanding color, or you might not. Bring this back. This is one that's in one of my other videos. Haven't done too much with this, but this is the base rock of the opal, and there are a lot of cabochons to be cut from this, and it's a lot of people have commented how pleasing this is. But you can see on this side we have these white areas that haven't treated at all. So that's a little opal, matrix opal review, and hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate all your support, and I'm working on a couple of other videos so I decided to do this quick video on matrix to get something. People have been wanting to see more matrix, and I appreciate your support, and I'll see you next time.